Hello, good evening, guys. Should I say evening? Right, evening, everyone. This is our May week 3. Okay, nice to see you all again. Hi, Karen. Hi, Sindong, and hi, Janae. How are you? How are you doing? Have you watched the video I sent you last week? I mean, I sent you the wrong one at first, and I corrected it. I hope you checked it out. Okay, yes, okay, cool. You can't 5 p.m. this evening. Okay, half an hour more lah. Don't so calculative lah. Okay. Anyway, so where were we? Okay, where were we? I think we have done. Hang on, guys. Hang on, So, I think we have done this carrier disease. Have we? Have we? Still surviving. Why do you say as if your your life is very life threatening? I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for asking. Besides the fact that I'm hot as shit, I'm melting. I'm good. Right. So, I finished this. I finished this. As I've mentioned last week, our color blindness and our hemophilia, they are called sex-linked disease. That means they are carried in the X chromosome. Remember? So color blindness, you have X big B, X small b, two types of gene. And then for hemophilia, you have X big H and X small h, two types of gene as well. Right? So that makes a male either normal, okay, or he has the disease. Okay, small h means having the disease because recessive losing gene And then as a female, you could either be big H, that means you are normal, or you are small h, that means you have the disease, or you are a carrier. Right? Guys, carrier, you're still referred to as a normal person, because for a carrier, technically they are still normal. Right? They are still normal. It's just that they have this hidden gene here. They might not see it, but they have it. Right? It's just like big small t lah. Like I said before, you are tall. Big small t is tall, right? Big small t is tall, right? That means you are tall, but you have that hidden short gene, which you could make your child or children short, right? So that's the case. Okay, so let's go into our exercise, shall we? Today we are focusing mostly on the exercise first, because last week we did not do any. Okay, so we were here, I guess. Just a moment. I think we were here. Have we done question 13? Have we done question 13? Because I'm not too sure. This, I think we've done 12, right? How about question 13? Have we done question 13, guys? Have we done question 13? Have we done question 13? Anyone? Don't think so. Right, good. All right, so this is Mrs. K's child, okay, undergoes amniocentesis. So this is what happened. All right, guys, please cancel A. This is not really our stuff. Okay, so B1, what is the name of the disease that will be suffered by the fetus in Mrs. K's womb? What disease is this? What disease is this? There's one extra. They even highlighted it for you. There's an extra one in 21. What is this disease, guys? What is this disease? Is this the serious one or the not so serious one? Okay, what page? Page 23. Page 23. What disease is this, guys? What disease is this? Right? Last week we have learned mutation. Okay, we have chromosome mutation and gene mutation. Remember? Remember? Chromosome being the serious one because one whole row of thread change. Gene being the not so serious one. Hey, you guys with me? You guys with me? Yes, Down syndrome. Thank you. Right, so this is Down syndrome. Down syndrome. Okay, because there's one extra here. That's a Down syndrome. Okay, Karen, you okay? Down syndrome, 21 here. And then there's two more, remember? Okay, there's two more. You have Klinefelter, which is XXY. Like I said, Klinefelter. XXY. So 3 syllable. XXY, Klinefelter. And then the XO, you have Turner. XO, Turner. That means there's one X missing. So what is the sex of the fetus? Guys, what gender is it? What gender is it? This is XY. What gender is this? Huh? XY is what? Oi! How can you both say the same answer and it's both wrong? Oi. 没有啦。Oi, don't scare me leh, oi. Like I say lah, a guy has a penis. So Y looks like a penis. I don't know lah, for me lah, looks like a PP. Okay, look at something else. Don't look at something else, look at me. Right, so describe the condition of the person based on the number 1 chromosome. Right, so how is this person like? How is this person like? How do you know someone has Down syndrome? How do they look like? You have so many, right, guys? You have so many conditions. They look weird. Janae, please don't use the word weird. It's very offensive. Okay. Be professional. Hey, takkan you're a doctor, right? Takkan you're a doctor, the parents ask you, son, sir, doctor, what do you think my child has? Since your child looks so weird, right? You're gonna get cancer. Right? So, how do they look like? Okay, then what's their characteristic? They are mentally retarded. Okay, guys, retarded is a proper word. I know we use retarded to scold people, but retarded is actually a proper word. You can say they have a protruding tongue. They have slanted eye. They are very short. That's your Down syndrome. Okay, guys, there's a list of here for you to choose. Remember, Down syndrome here, I see. Mentally retarded, short neck, slanted eye, short body. Okay, 3 for you to choose here. Okay, next, number 14. Okay, number 14. So, 2 types of disease. Okay, what is disease P and what is disease Q? Guys, what is P? What is disease P? We have mentioned this last week. Wait, did you guys forget last week? Please don't. What is P? Yes, albinism, thank you. Happens in animals too, remember? Okay, albinism. What about Q? What about Q? We just mentioned it just now. So this is a Down syndrome. Okay, syndrome Down in BM. Type of mutation. This is a very good question. P is what mutation? Is P serious? Is P serious? I mean, compared to Q lah. Is P more serious or less serious than Q? No. Okay, not serious, right? Not serious is what mutation? Is it gene or chromosome? Is it gene or chromosome? Okay, gene mutation, Gene mutation. Because there's only one gene going wrong. One part of the DNA going wrong. And Q is kind of serious. What mutation is this? What mutation is this? This is our chromosome mutation. Very good. Okay, that means they have one extra chromosome or one less chromosome, which makes it very serious. Right? So that's your types of mutation. Jenny, are you okay with this? Because you skipped the class last week, Make sure you're okay, If you don't, please watch the video again. Right, C. What caused individual Q to have the characteristics shown in the diagram above? What makes her like this? What happened to her chromosome? We just mentioned it just now. What happened to the chromosome? She has an extra chromosome at, yes, number. Which pair does it have one more? Which pair does it have one more? We have 23 pairs, right? Which pair is that one more there? Down syndrome. Hello, it's just a number. Oi, it's just a number. Hey, I heard you guys are getting another holiday, isn't it? like real soon in June or something. Well, another holiday. Can you believe it? No wonder students today are getting more and more lazy. Okay, you see, holiday, you see, you haven't even warm up in your school. I would barely call it warming up lah. And now you have another holiday. Right. No more holiday till August. You don't change. That's not how you roll, isn't it? Hey, hello. You know when's our TDC last holiday? You know when's our TDC last holiday? For us teachers lah. It was in April. Okay, it was in April. You know when's the next one? You know when is our next holiday? Our next holiday is September. We go 5 months without holiday. So you think TDC teacher very easy, huh? Hey, and I tell you something, these 2-3 weeks it's seminar, isn't it? These 2-3 weeks is the seminar, isn't it? I'm having my seminar this Sunday. Oh, by the way, seminar, if you want to come, you can come lah. And then next week is gonna be Saturday, Sunday. Next week, Saturday, Sunday. That means I work whole straight 20 days, you know. So you don't say, sir, I'm so tired. So weak. Right. What number is it? Guys, what number is it? Which number there's something wrong? Number. Hey, please don't forget this. If you get Down syndrome wrong, I'm sorry, you are worse than Down syndrome. Right? That means there's something wrong at chromosome 21. Okay? Hey guys, you cannot even type me 21, Walao eh. 21, 21, Okay, Right, so one factor that causes mutation. What causes mutation? What causes things to change? Guys, what causes things to change? What causes mutation? You have so many factors, right? Like I said, mutation is cancer, right? So anything that causes cancer will cause mutation, right? Like for example, naturally you have cancer. So naturally you have mutation, right? And then you have radiations, right? UV ray, X-ray, gamma ray, and then you have carcinogen. Okay, carcinogen. And then you have pregnancy at late age. Like I said, if you're pregnant above 40, which is not very recommended, your child will have a higher chance of having Down syndrome. Chemical changes, I would say carcinogens, because to be fair, I don't, okay, first of all, I don't like the word chemical because chemical is what our parents say. Oh, don't eat this too much. It has chemical. Guys, water is a chemical. Do you not drink water? Right? So we say carcinogen. This is the word. Right? Yes. Or not all ray. Sun ray will give you mutation. No lah. Okay. So of course UV ray. Okay. X-ray. Things like that. Right? So guys, if you want to give birth, I don't think anyone at the age of 40 wants to give birth lah. Karen, don't make me slap you. Right. I don't think you want to be a mom at 40 lah. Right? Because guys, I don't know whether you know this. Okay, do you think that you are a very hard child to raise? Do you think you are that very 乖懒 child to raise? Are you? Because I am. I'm not gonna lie, right? I give my mom all the credits because I was a very naughty kid, right? Well, don't even you say yes, okay? I thought girls are easy to raise one. No, man. Hey, you don't say, teens are very easy to very hard to raise too, Hey, teens, you cannot beat them, leh. At least your child don't listen to you. You can whack the shit out of them. Can you whack your teen? No, they will go emo. They will report you to the authorities, say domestic abuse. All right. So you see, raising a child is a very physically demanding job. Would you still want that physical load at 40? You trust me lah, in your late 20s, you will already be tired as shit. I don't think 40 you are up for the game. Right? But you know, some people they do it too lah. Some people they do it too. Like I have a student, right? I had a student. He was in Form 5. Okay, he was in Form 5, but the mom is like 50 something, right? They got pregnant accidentally. And then all the brothers, he has 3 brothers, all the brothers are 30 something. He's the alone at 17. I give them all the credits lah. I mean, if I'm 40, you see, I'm 30, I'm already so fed up with things. You want me to raise a child at 40? I'm not sure though. Right? So that's why I don't plan on having any child soon. This is how the average of Chinese goes down lah, because of people like me. Guys, do you know Chinese population is dropping as we speak? Right? That means they say don't know how many years later Chinese population will be like half left because no Chinese want children. Right? Yeah, exactly. I'm still doing this, still questioning life. Right? I'm still a child at heart. I'm not ready to raise any. Right? Anyway, so 15. What disease is this? Like I said, X, X, Y. We say, what's the name? What's the name? It starts with a K. Every one of my students has problem pronouncing this name one, right? It's called Klinefelter. You know Klein? Klein as in GlaxoSmithKline, as in Calvin Klein. Okay, Calvin Klein is not this Klein lah. Calvin Klein is this Klein. But it's the same lah. Okay, so it's Klinefelter. Okay, Klinefelter syndrome. Right? Sir, who give it this name? This is the doctor's name. The person who discovered this disease and he named it using his name. So Klinefelter. You should be glad that he is not Muzaffar Yusuf bin Shah syndrome. Then it will be called syndrome. Right? Yes, imagine. Wow, my student will flip. Even I will flip. No offense to Muslims lah, but damn. What's so hard to pronounce? Wow, that's a flex there, Karen. Not everyone English is that good, man. Okay, so what about this? What about this? This is Turner. I have a feeling that we are not taking this class very seriously. What to do? You guys feel like dying already? I have to entertain you. Right, so B. Hey, yeah, how do you pronounce that, by the way? Is it Worcestershire? Okay, guys, do you know how to pronounce it? Oh, sorry, there's one H there. Do you watch football? Do you watch football? Do you watch football? If you watch football, you know how do you? I mean, they are in a very poor state right now lah. They're getting relegated soon. Karen, do you watch football? Okay, guys, this is pronounced as Leicester, as in Leicester. Oh, your dad does. Okay, I see. Right? How is this Leicester, right? So you see, the British, they have their ways with words in a way that we never understand. Right? How the hell is this Leicester? Don't ask me. Right? It's mental. Right? It's mental. Absolute mental. Right, so B. State the gender of individual Q. Okay, what is this gender? It's called sophisticated, not extra. That's what they say. Right, what gender is this? What gender is this? Only one X. This is a female. Okay, this is a female. Guys, I know I might get into trouble for this, but there's only 2 gender, right? Right? Please don't take part in that pronouns thing, right? It's only for low intelligence people. Okay, I'm a she, her. You can fuck off, right? You can fuck off, like seriously, okay? I mean, when I grew up, I don't need to tell my pronouns. Yeah, I'm a he, him. Like, what else would you be, right? They, them are like, are you serious? This mental disorder. Yeah, I'm glad you guys have brilliant minds. You guys don't take part in that bullshit, right? See, explain the difference between the number of chromosome P and Q, right? So, how many total chromosome here? What's the point? Inclusivity law, the LGBT thing law, right? So how many chromosomes here total? Okay, as you are a normal person, how many chromosomes do you have? You don't tell me you don't know, ah. I will for sure, I will guarantee I will slap you. How many chromosomes do you have? How many chromosomes do you have? And how many is it here? Right? This person has one X extra. So total is how many? Guys, this is maths. This is not science. Yes, that's 47. I feel retarded teaching this thing, right? So what about this? What about this? This person has one X less, right? So that's 45. Okay, easier than you think. Okay, not as complicated as you think. Right. So D, state one characteristic of the disease experienced by individual P. So how is this person like? How is Klinefelter like? This is a guy, isn't it? This is a male, So how is he like? Okay, like I said, he has one X chromosome extra, so he has female characteristics. Okay, for example, he has breast development. Okay, he has breast, he has narrow shoulder, right? He just looks like a female. He doesn't go through puberty, okay? A small testes, I would accept that too. What about Q? She has one X less. Just now you have one more X, you look like a female. Now you have one X less, you don't look like a female. Yes, you can say mentally retarded. Okay, mentally retarded. Basically, they don't go through puberty. There's no breast development, no development of ovaries. What else? They are infertile. Both cases are infertile. Okay, both cases are infertile. Yeah, basically they don't look like a normal girl. They have no female characteristic. Okay, guys, as you can see, it's pretty serious. It's pretty serious. Klinefelter and Turner is pretty serious, but the thing is, it's very rare. Call it a top one. No, different story. Different story. You see, okay, don't be mistaken. Klinefelter is not being CC. Turner is not being tomboy. The CC and tomboy thing is a hormone problem. The one is a. Are we taking it serious though? What do you mean? Of course we are. Right. So next time when you see a very feminine male or a very masculine female, that is a hormone thing, right? You will learn this in chapter 7, right? But in terms of physiologically, their body is still normal. It's still like a tomboy would still have breast development, right? They still look like a normal female. But in this case, she has no female characteristics. That's the thing, right? It's like they can't help it. Okay, although hormone is they can't help it too lah. But this is they just look wrong, like I told you. Okay, I think I showed you a picture last week, They just look wrong. Okay, so number 16. Number 16. So this is a colorblind father marrying a normal mother. Okay, guys, I have a question here. Colorblind father, how is the chromosome like? How is the chromosome like? Okay, first tell me, father is a male, right? Male is what chromosome? Male is what chromosome? Male is? Male is XY. Good. So he has colorblind, right? We use the letter, okay, I don't want to use C lah because big C and small c looks the same. Is it big B or small b? He has colorblind. If I'm a male, I have colorblind. Is it big B or small b? Dominant or recessive? Dominant or recessive? Small b, small b, I'll change this to big, small, because B is easier to see. Okay, this is big B, this is small b. Right, what about normal mother? What about normal mother? What is the chromosome here like? A normal mother. She has two X's, right? Okay, what about the big small b? Okay, big B and you think it's another big B? You think it's another big B? Big and small. Right. How do you know? But it's normal though. How do you know? You see, if you put big B here, the case wouldn't match. You see, 1, 3, big small b. Big small b here matches. But 1, 4, big small b doesn't match here. Doesn't match here. You see? And then 2, 3, big B, Y, this one match. 2, 4 doesn't match. So big B is wrong. Okay, it should be big small b. You guys get what I mean? You guys get what I mean? So in this case, this is a very tricky question. This is a very tricky question. It says here normal, but this mother is like, what do we call this woman? A big small b, what do we call her? What do we call her? She is normal, yes, but she has a small recessive here. Very good. She's a carrier, right? So guys, carrier is still under normal. That's why in question, in your exam, when you see normal, don't just automatically assume, oh, she's sure big B. Now, you see, now it's carrier already. So this is a very tricky question. So just be careful, okay? Just be careful. Right, so give the genotype of the parents. Okay, we did. Name the type of gamete produced by the father. Okay, guys, this is actually, what is the gamete produced by your dad? What does your dad produce? This is actually form 1. What does your dad produce? Your mom produces ovum, right? So your dad produces a sperm. Sir? Will they ask things like that? Yes. Sometimes you do so many complicated questions that you can't even do the simple ones, right? Even I got myself wrong here. Okay, I first answer X big B, X small b and Y. Okay, they just want us to name the gamete. Okay, silly me. So what type of individuals are L and M? Okay, let's look at L. What is this person? Is this a son or a daughter? A male or a female? This is a daughter, right? And she's a carrier. Good. She's a carrier daughter. Or carrier female lah. Carrier female. What about M? What about M? Big B, and this is a XY. This is a son, right? And he's a, does he have anything? Okay, he's a male, it's a normal male. Yeah, very good. He's a normal male. He is normal, right? So, very interesting case here. Very interesting case here. So next time, if you are a carrier, make sure you don't marry someone colorblind, because you will make your children quite badly, right? You have 50% of getting a colorblind child. I mean, colorblind is not something very serious lah, but something we could avoid. Right. How is color blindness brought about? Okay, this is a very good question. Yes, Suffer. How is color blindness brought? How do you get colorblind? How do you get colorblind? You see, how do you get colorblind? How do you get colorblind? It's because you don't have a dominant gene. Correct? Correct. Even if you have a recessive, but if you have a dominant, you'll be normal. Right? So we can say, how do you get color blindness? It's the absence of a dominant gene. Okay, absence of dominant color blindness gene, I would say. Color blindness gene. Right? You don't have dominant, so you are just colorblind. Right? So next, hemophilia is a hereditary disorder controlled by a sex-linked recessive gene. Same as your color blindness. Right? Blood of a hemophilia patient clots very slowly. Use big H to represent normal, small h to represent hemophilia. Okay, this one you already know. Right. One possible genotype of woman is X big H. Write down all other possible genotypes. Right. As a woman, besides X big and big, what else could you be? Okay, good. Big, small. And you could be small, small. Okay, then what about a male? What about a male? If you're a male, if you're a guy, you will be X big HY, and you will be X small HY. So guys only has two possibilities, right? Guys only have two possibilities, whereas girls have three possibilities. That's why for girls, it's harder for you to get color blindness or hemophilia because you have two safe choices. You have one out of three chance to get it. Guys have one out of two. So you will see more colorblind males than females. Yeah, exactly. Right? So, I mean, it's already pretty rare. I wouldn't worry about it. So next, 17. Same thing. This is a color normal father. Okay, this is color blindness. And this is a carrier mother. See, question like this, bless heavens they tell you it's a carrier. Because sneaky question will just say normal. And little did you know it's actually a carrier. So question like this is like letting you off the hook, cutting you some slack. Right? So I'm just gonna give you an answer here. X big B, X big B, X big small, X big Y, small by. Right? Like I said last week, if this pair of couple, if they're having a daughter, they don't need to worry because 100% the daughter will be normal. Too easy, huh? And then if they're having a son, 50% he will have hemophilia. Sorry, color blindness. All right. So what is the probability of having a normal daughter out of these four? No, I mean, we have to include male as well. What's the possibility of having a normal daughter? You see, out of four, yes, I have two, right? So this is 50%. Okay, 50%. What about colorblind son? Out of four, which one is colorblind son? Yes, you only have one here. So it's 25. Easy, huh? This is actually like last week and last week stuff, right? Like I said, guys, this thing, the crossing one is like 80% of this chapter. You get this part done, you should be good. Okay, so color blindness is known as a sex-linked hereditary disease. State the reason. Why do we call it sex-linked? Because it is controlled by a gene on the X chromosome. Right? It is controlled only by the X chromosome. And X chromosome is a sex chromosome. That's why we call it a sex-linked disease. Okay? Give one other example of sex-linked disease. Besides color blindness, what do you have? There's only two lah. Right? So you have hemophilia. Right? Guys, any question? Any question? I mean, we have 20 minutes left. Okay, we have 20 minutes left. I'm gonna go into some interesting stuff. Okay, guys, today's lesson, I will talk a little bit about some extra stuff which is here. Right, guys? I don't want to bore you but let's go to here. Today we talk about some extra technology stuff. Okay, guys, have you heard of genetic engineering? Have you heard of genetic engineering? It's a relatively new field, right? It has only existed in the last, I would say, 20 or 30 years. Okay, 20 or 30 years. Right. You know what is forensic? You know what is forensic? Guys, you have to know, in the early 90s, forensic was not a very common thing. That means there were, okay, here's the interesting stuff. If you watch those crime YouTubers, YouTubers talking about crime, did you know that in the 90s, many serial rapists and killers, they were not caught because there were no forensic, right? Forensic wasn't a thing last time. There was no such, we only collect fingerprint. There was no such thing as DNA matching, no such thing, right? It has only been around in the last 20 years. So you see, praise technology. What's their job? To find out how did you die, okay? If let's say it's a non-natural death, they have to find out what's your cause of death and who killed you. Is it a suicide or is it not a suicide? And who was at the crime scene when it happened? You see, it's a field that you can study, right? If next time you're interested forensics, provided if you're not scared of blood and gory murder scenes. Yeah, was he poisoned? Okay, so, yeah, something like that. Right, so guys, let's talk about this first. Right, what is amniocentesis? I think I mentioned this last week. To find out whether your child has Down syndrome when you're pregnant, at around 2 or 3 months of your pregnancy, you can go and draw your amniotic fluid and go and do a scan, see whether your child has Down syndrome. Guys, there is absolute no reason for you not to do this, right? Because someone I know, she's pregnant in her 20s. You see, pregnant in your 20s, your chance of having Down syndrome kid is very low, isn't it? It's very low, isn't it? But still, the doctor will ask you to go and scan for this, right? Because it's just not worth the risk, right? Because you see, if you find out early that your child has Down syndrome, then you will go for abortion, right? Yes, it's relatively cheap, and at least it gives you that peace of mind, knowing that your child will be normal. Okay, there's no excuse not for you to do this, amniocentesis. And of course, after they do amniocentesis, they will do karyotyping. That means do this, they will spread out all the chromosome to see whether your child is normal or not. This is genetic engineering, right? This thing has only been around. That means 30 years ago, it is, you can still see people give birth to Down syndrome kids. Nowadays, I'm not saying there's no Down syndrome, but it's much less, right? Because you can catch it early and you choose not to have the baby. And it makes your, I just think it's very unfair for you to bring the child to this world if he has Down syndrome, because it's just not very fair for him, right? And of course, we use this genetic research to improve quality of life. Like I said, forensic, right? Forensic. This is to gather evidence, right? That means, guys, if you, right, let me say something. If you guys were raped next time, God forbid, if you are raped, I don't care whether you're a guy or a girl, every gender has risk of getting raped, right? No, you are the determinant, not the child, right? So if you are raped next time, okay, guys, let me just say this. Do you know it's a very common psychology for rape victims to go and shower immediately because they feel contaminated. They feel dirty because they were touched by someone without consent. Guys, this is not what you should do. When you got raped and you go and shower, you're washing away evidence, right? Go to a hospital, ask them to do a check on you, right? Ask them to gather evidence from you. The victim, sorry, the rapist might left some nails or some skin or some hair on you, and it's a big evidence right there, right? Guys, you only need a strand of hair from the rapist to catch them red-handed. Okay, so next time when you guys, this is something very serious. Okay, I wish none of this will happen to you, but if it does, now you know what to do. Go to the hospital and gather evidence, because the forensic, they will do their job. Yes, right? So that's your forensic. And of course, gene therapy. This is still a very new field. What is gene therapy? Next time, maybe we can repair mutated gene. Let's say you have cancer, we can switch off the cancer gene. We can switch off your color blindness. We can switch off your hemophilia. Sounds very optimistic, but currently the technology is not there yet, right? Who knows, next time it will. Like I said, you can get to change the gender of your child. You can get to change your characteristic of the child. Who knows, right? Maybe we will. Like I said, gene technology is still a very, very new field, right? Considerably new compared to other old professions. And of course, genealogy, what is this? This is to, like I said, to find out who your ancestors were, right? Are you a completely 100% Chinese, or you have some kind of Malay blood running in you? You have some Orang Asli blood in you. You have some German blood in you. Maybe your great grandfather was a German. Who knows, right? Wow, then you are mixed blood in a way, right? In a way, right? So that's the genealogy, right? So advantage and disadvantage, you can read this yourself, So what's the advantage of genetic engineering? Okay, it provides a sense of relief to know that your child has no Down syndrome, right? It has a new branch in technology called genetic engineering, improve the quality of life, detect and prevent genetic disorder, like we can prevent Down syndrome. Okay, but disadvantage, it creates psychological stress, right? To know that if your child has a disease, right, it can produce an ecological problem. You imagine this, if every one of us change our gene to become good looking, then no one is good looking. You get what I mean? You get what I mean? If everyone is good looking, then no one is good looking. And it creates an ecological problem because now humans, we have no more variation. You remember what is variation? We all look different, that's our variation. If all of us look the same, then there's no variation. Ugly people look better. That's a very mean thing to say, right? A lot of people came to Malaysia. Okay, sure. I mean, yeah, true. Right? So engineering, genetic engineering also creates unknown side effect and it cannot be reversed. What if you change your gene and you don't like it? There's no way for you to reverse. That's the thing. Guys, make sure to drink enough water. I'm in an aircon room and I'm sweating. Okay, so genetic engineering. Genetic engineering. Okay, this is something really interesting. Guys, hang on. Yeah, I'm sweating because it's really hot. Because when I'm talking, right? When I'm talking, how do I put this? I use a lot of energy to talk, right? I don't know whether you notice this. I talk very loudly in my class. I mean, there's only three of you, still okay lah. But if I talk in a 20 something people class, as I as I talk, my back will be fully wet. Okay, because I'm a very physically hot person, right? My metabolism rate is very high, so I sweat all the time. Right. Anyway, so genetic engineering. Okay, guys, let's talk about this. Oh, is it? Okay, cool. Right, let's talk about this. Okay, this is really interesting. Right, guys, do you know that? Do you know that? Last time, okay, your blood glucose. Let's talk about blood glucose, right? You know blood glucose. You know blood glucose. Your blood sugar level. Okay, let's just keep it simple. Blood glucose. Right. This is your blood sugar level. What happens when you one shot you eat 8 bars of Kit Kat? Okay, who the hell does that, right? But let's just assume you are really sad, you broke up, and to make yourself feel better, you decide to whack one whole straight big pack of Kit Kat. You can do that, but it's not very good for health. Right, so what happens to your blood sugar? What happens to your blood sugar? Normal blood sugar is around 90 to 110. Your blood sugar will shoot to the moon, right? It will shoot to the moon, it will go for 200. Right, okay, here's the thing. You won't get diabetes. You won't get diabetes because you have a hormone called insulin. Have you guys heard of this before? Have you guys heard of this before? If your grandpa or your grandma has diabetes, I'm sure he or she will jab this thing to their tummy every day. It's like a daily injection of insulin. Have you guys heard of insulin pen? Insulin pen. This thing. If you have diabetes or anyone of your family has diabetes, I'm sure you have seen this before. This is an insulin pen. All right, guys. Did you know this? 40, 50 years ago, this thing didn't exist. This thing didn't exist. We didn't know what the hell insulin was, right? And when we find out insulin, okay, cool. We know what insulin is now. But we have no ways of making them. Right, guys, how did diabetes happen? How will diabetes happen? Right, there are two types of diabetes. There's type 1 diabetes, and then there's type 2 diabetes. Okay, so what is type 1 diabetes? Type 1 diabetes, it's when you cannot produce insulin, right? Your pancreas, by the way, insulin is produced by your pancreas. You learned this in chapter 7. Your pancreas, you're born with it naturally faulty. They just refuse to produce insulin. So you see, when your blood sugar is very high, insulin's job is to store that sugar and bring it down. You get what I mean? You get what I mean? That means if you eat any sugary meal, in fact, if you eat any carbohydrates, you eat rice, you eat noodle, your sugar will shoot sky high, and the insulin's job is to bring it down. Yes, I know, I know that joke. Right, so it will bring it down. So if you have no insulin, your blood sugar will stay up there, right? And it's life-threatening. So if you have type 1 diabetes, that means you're born with it. Type 2 diabetes is self-induced. That means you have Kit Kat every day, every day, every day. You just keep eating sweet, 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 sweet. To a point, your pancreas just failed. You overworked your pancreas, right? Your pancreas every day works overtime to produce you that insulin, keep producing, producing, producing. And then one day your insulin, your pancreas is like, you know what? Screw this, fuck this shit, I'm not gonna work anymore, right? And your pancreas just decides to shut down, and this is how you fail. Okay, this is how insulin fails, right, guys? Last time, imagine, if you have diabetes, it's life-threatening. Diabetes was a life-threatening disease. You get it means you'll be dead. You'll be dead in real soon. But you see, we discovered insulin. But last time, we still have no idea how to make it. Guys, imagine 40 years ago when you have diabetes, we know what is insulin, but we have no idea how to get it. You just can't, you can't just draw it out from any human because it's not that easy. So you know what they did? You know what they did? They used to get insulin from pigs, from cows. Let me ask you a question. Would you inject something from cows? You get what I mean? Would you? They say, oh, this injection is made from cows. Do you inject it into your body? Right? I mean, vegans will be sweating profusely. Really. Oh my God, cows. Right? And then, oh, and one more thing, our body doesn't really agree with cow insulin because there's a little bit of difference there. I mean, one is from animal and you're a human. Of course, it's not going to match perfectly. So when this thing came out, it was a groundbreaking technology. Groundbreaking. You know what we did? We took a healthy human pancreatic cell and we take out the DNA because this DNA is what makes you the insulin. So we take out the part of the gene, the insulin gene. You see, healthy people, you're healthy, right? That means you have the insulin gene. And we take this insulin gene, we hack into a bacteria. We take this gene and we insert it into a bacteria. We sort of like hack their DNA. We hack their DNA and we reproduce them so that this becomes your hacked bacteria becomes tiny insulin factories. Each of these bacteria will follow this gene you inserted into them and make you that insulin. Yes, it's like clone insulin exactly, right? And you know what's the best thing? This method makes you identical insulin, exactly looks like human insulin, and it's very cheap. Whenever you can mass produce something, it's going to be cheap, isn't it? Right? Guys, think about this. Flat screen TV, when it first came out, it used to be really expensive. Now, flat screen TV, I mean, your house 65-inch TV is probably like what, 2,000 to 3,000 ringgit. It used to be 30,000, right? When you mass produce something, you make it cheap. So this is how we do it. So now, guys, insulin, it's such a cheap drug. You can just buy anywhere, right? Guys, insulin, let me show you. Novo Insulin. This is the biggest insulin company, right? You know how much is this? Can you see the cartridge there? The blue black part is the pen, and then the orange color there is the cartridge. One cartridge will cost you like what, 20 bucks? Yeah, and there's more. So it's really cheap, and one cartridge costs you like 20 bucks, and it will last for like 2 weeks. Okay, it will last for 2 weeks. So you spend 10 bucks per week controlling your blood sugar. Do you think it's worth it? Do you think it's worth it? Freaking worth it. You see, something that was life-threatening now it's like a nuisance, right? It's like so mafan. Every day I have to jet myself. That's all. It went from a life-threatening disease to a nuisance. It's like a minor inconvenience because you have to put this needle on. Can you see that small? For those who are scared of needles, okay, because I have students telling me, sir, diabetes people, they have to inject insulin every day. That means they have to deal with needles every day. You see how tiny the needle is? It's like a baby needle, right? So you just jab yourself with the needle every day and you will be fine. You just live like a normal person. So guys, praise technology. Praise technology. Thanks to genetic engineering, now we have plenty of insulin, identical that our body won't reject. 100% hygiene, 100% sterile. You won't get some funny infection from animals because using this. Cool? Cool? Hey, not just this, Not just this, We use genetic engineering to modify our crops. We call it GM. Yes, harm-free to call it GM. Hey guys, just to tell you, you know how corn used to look like? You know corn? Okay, we call it maize, okay, maize in original. Okay, guys, maize, the jagong you eat today, they used to look like this. Right? Can you see that? Can you eat the one on the left? No, you can't. Right? And of course, wild watermelon, last time, watermelon used to look like this. Right? So how do we change from this to this? It's genetic engineering. Okay, genetic modification. We modify a crop's gene to make it grow better, to make it produce more nutrients, to make it harvest more easily. Hey guys, do you know that? Okay, any of you here love durian? I certainly don't. Right? Any of you here love durian? Any of you here love durian? Okay, all right. So you see, when I was a kid, durian has seasons. If I'm not mistaken, last time when I was a kid, durian is like once per year or twice per year. Now, do you get this thing? Do you have such thing? No, because durian is year long. You can just walk to sometimes you pass by some roadside that's durian store there, you can just sit there and eat. Why? Because of genetic engineering. We modify durian so that they grow year long. You see, we modify certain gene, we switch on the good gene and we switch off the bad gene to make better fruits. Right? So you see, genetically modified organism, okay, plants, animals, bacteria, whatever it is, right? They are genetically modified for particular purposes, right? So what's the good thing about the desired characteristic? When we modify their gene, we make it bigger, we make it more nutritious, we make it more resistant to pests, right? Maybe they are not scared of pests anymore. Even disease won't harm them. Higher yield. What if I change a gene, I produce 20% more apples? Then I'm earning 20% more money with the same amount of water and nutrient. Isn't it better? So you see, this is why GM is such an awesome thing to do, right? Guys, do you know who is very good in this? Do you know who is very good in GM? The Japanese. The Japanese. So yeah, that's why. Guys, next time if you ask me, sir, what is a very lucrative career? How can I earn big money from any career? Go and become a farmer. Go and become a farmer. Hey, you know in Japan, how much do farmers earn? Have you heard of Kyoho grapes? This is GM. This is genetically modified. The Japanese, they modify their genes so good that you make the grape this big. Have you tried Kyoho grapes before? I haven't, because they're expensive as shit. You know, one bunch is how much? Have you guys been to those? Okay, have you been to Lot 10, the Japanese store, Isetan Japanese store? Right? Sometimes you will see freshly air flown Kyoho grapes from Japan. Okay, freshly made, freshly plucked that day, freshly send it to Malaysia. You know, one bunch is how much? One bunch is like 400 ringgit. For a bunch of grapes, grapes, would you spend 400 on a meal? Not really, isn't it? But this is 400 bucks for one bunch of grapes. Yes, maybe 4 USD for a ball, something like that. Okay. So you see, even they are really good. You know what is a rock melon? The Japanese, they are very famous for making this, right? rock melon. Okay, the Japanese one. Okay, Japanese rock melon. You look at this. It's $200 per melon. Cantaloupe, okay, you can call it cantaloupe. Okay, 200. You know how much is $200? You times 4.5, that's USD, right? That's $900 for a freaking fruit. So who says becoming a farmer is poor? Okay, maybe next time you can modify this gene, modify this thing so that they can grow in Malaysia. Wow, you are making big bucks, my friend. Screw becoming a doctor. Okay, whatever engineer, doctor, lawyer, 一起 lah, you become a farmer, right? Hey, just to tell you, there's a durian seller near my house. You see this uncle, he's like dirty one, right? He sells durian, he just looks messy and dirty. He drives a freaking Mercedes S-Class. Right? Right? You are laughing at him. This uncle looks very dirty. Who's laughing now? He must be crying in his Mercedes S-Class. People say that I'm dirty. Okay, he's wiping his tears with money. Uh, okay, so go and tell your mom, Ma, next time I want to be a farmer. She'll probably beat your ass, lah, but don't let your dreams be dreams. You'll be the best farmer that ever is. Right? Chase your dream. What am I even saying? Right? Am I? Yeah, it's getting worse. I know. Right? So anyway, so this advantage and disadvantage you can read it yourself lah. It's the same thing, right? Guys, did you know we have cloned a sheep before? You can go and search on this. We call it Dolly. Dolly sheep. Dolly the sheep. This is the only cloning we have done to animals, right? And it created a lot of ethical issues, right? They say humans have no rights in playing God. So depends on what you think, right? It's a very inhumane, for me, I think it's a very inhumane experiment. Okay, so anyway, guys, this part is not in exam, It's not in exam, Not to say not in exam, but it's not very common in exam. This is just for you to read for fun. It's more like a K part stuff, right? What is genetic engineering and where do we use it? What's the advantage and disadvantage of it? Yeah, I mean, you can do it with the chicken. Any animals, you can do it, right? If you have the knowledge and the technology, right? So, guys, any question you want to ask? No? Okay, good. Then I shall end my class here. I hope you learned something new today. Next week, I'll wrap this chapter up. Next week, there's one more important part before we wrap this chapter up. So make sure you come next week. Right, so guys, have a good Sunday. I will see you real soon. All right, have a good Wednesday. I will see you soon. Sunday. Why am I saying Sunday? Sorry, Wednesday. Okay, see you soon. Take care. See you. Bye-bye.